Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Pikmin 2 bonus series. I'm Multigame Master 1, and today, in segment 3 of this series, we're going to take a look at how the enemies attack Pikmin, and discuss the best possible means of defeating enemies without losing your Pikmin, and also freezing them. Now, keep in mind guys that it's been a very good while since I played this game, and so it's going to take me some time of thinking as to how to defeat certain enemies without losing your Pikmin. And if you guys have better, more efficient, and quicker ways as to how to do this, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. I feel as though that it's important that we get together as a group and discuss the best possible means of defeating enemies without losing your Pikmin altogether. With that being said, let's go and get things started. So we'll open up the Piklopedia, and we will start with the red Bulbord. To toss Pikmin carrots, we simply press the A button like so. This is still the Wii version, by the way, guys. Alright, let's see how you attack. Okay, so it seems as though that this guy attacks multiple Pikmin at once, making it quite a hazard. The camera is awfully zoomed in, by the way. If I could get into the camera controls for a second, so you can do two things with the camera. If you hold down the Z button and move the control stick in any direction, then like so, you can move the camera right, left, up, and down. To have the camera zoom in and out, you press up and down on the control pad respectively. Finally, to freeze your enemies with ultra bitter spray, press the 1 button. Yeah, get wrecked. One thing to note about the ultra bitter spray, guys, if you do use this on enemies, you're going to find that it makes it a little bit more difficult and time consuming for you to defeat them, because for some strange reason, while they're frozen, they have a little bit more durability. Of course, that's only according to my experience with this game. If you guys have a different experience, you can feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But as we all know, the rewards that you get from them while they're frozen, defeating the enemies while they're frozen, vary between nectar, ultra bitter spray, and ultra spicy spray, making it all the worthwhile. Now let's see. The best means as to how to defeat this guy. By the way, it is true that I often use purple Pikmin to first stun all of my enemies and then deliver the final blow, but my thoughts are just going to be based on how to defeat enemies in the absence of purple Pikmin, in the case in which you don't have purple Pikmin altogether. And like I said before, if you guys have better ways, let me know. Alright, so attacking the front would definitely pose a problem, as you would lose Pikmin right away. I'd say maybe going for the back and also its legs would be more effective. That's just my take on it. Alright, let's move on to the next guy. Oh, one more thing. Get wrecked. I'm gonna keep saying that every time I freeze a bug, by the way, guys, because I hate all bugs in general on this planet. Okay, next up, hairy Bulbord. I'm pretty sure he attacks the same way. Wake up. Yeah, he attacks the same way as the red Bulbord. So the same thing as before. You could just toss your Pikmin onto its back or swarm its legs. Might be the best way to go about it. Get wrecked. Orange Bulbord. So as we all know about this guy, if any Pikmin get close to it, it automatically wakes up. So the best bet would probably be to toss your Pikmin onto its back. Yeah, you finish up that carrot. Oh, you missed it. You just mushed away on the ground like an idiot. By the way, get wrecked. Okay, Dwarf Red Bulbord. Let's see how these guys attack. Go get him, fellas. At least they're not real Pikmin. Just Pikmin carrots. Okay, so these guys attack Pikmin one at a time, leaving you plenty of time to save them before they're devoured. Best way to go about defeating these enemies, definitely swarming them and or tossing a Pikmin directly onto its back for you to instantly kill it. Oh, by the way guys, I didn't mention this before, but for certain enemies, any Pikmin that get caught within the enemy and they're about to be digested, you can save them if you can defeat them in time. But once the Pikmin are fully digested, that's it. You just lose them altogether. Alright? Oh wait, one more thing. Get wrecked. Next up, Snow Bulbord. I think these guys attack the same way as the Dwarf Red Bulbord. Yeah, they do. Attack Pikmin one at a time. So, swarming it and tossing a Pikmin onto its back, definitely the best way to defeat them. Get wrecked. Dwarf Orange Bulbord. These guys attack the same way as the Dwarf Red Bulbord and the Snow Bulbord, it looks like. Swarming and tossing Pikmin onto its back, definitely most effective. Oh, you guys are scrambling for food? Yeah, well, I got one thing to say about that. Get wrecked. Next up, Spotty bulbear. Okay, so we know that this guy has a patrol route, making it dangerous. And it doesn't even matter how far away you are from it, it can still pose as much of a threat. Okay, you know what? I'll just toss you some carrots. This guy also attacks multiple Pikmin at once. Best thing to do would definitely be to toss Pikmin at it. Maybe on its back, not its front, because it could pose as something of a problem if you tossed it on its face. Get wrecked. Dwarf bulbear. Same way as the dwarf red bulbord and snow bulbord and dwarf orange bulbord, it looks like. Swarming and tossing Pikmin onto its back, definitely most effective. Yeah, get wrecked. Hate all of you so much. Bulbord larva. Let's have a look at these guys. So these guys attack Pikmin one at a time, but what makes them incredibly dangerous is it takes them about half a second for them to fully digest the Pikmin. Swarming it would be ill-advised. I'd say maybe tossing Pikmin directly onto its back may be the most effective bet. And for safety, it's probably best if you all use purple Pikmin against it. Because, well, as much as we do know about purple Pikmin, once you toss them into the air, they will land on enemies with a resounding thud. And what's even cool about tossing purple Pikmin at the enemies is they move themselves in the air as they try to pounce on their enemies. It makes it more effective in targeting your enemies and therefore defeating them with just a single toss. Because for some reason it can improve your accuracy and precision when targeting enemies. Get wrecked. Okay, fiery bulblacks. So this guy, once we toss Pikmin carrots directly at it, the Pikmin carrots instantly burn up. The same goes for Pikmin. Well, it takes some time for the yellow, blue, white, and purple Pikmin to be fully burned by the fire. Red Pikmin would definitely be the best bet in defeating this guy. Let's see. Does the Ultra Bitter Spray put out the fire? No, it doesn't. Okay, so maybe the best thing to do would be to use Ultra Bitter Spray first, and then use the red Pikmin in order to kill it. Of course, that's only in the case if there's no nearby water. If there's some water, then you can attack it with just about any Pikmin by tossing it onto its back or swarming its legs. Get wrecked. Okay, next up, Water Dumple. This guy's in the water. This may pose something of a problem because if I toss the Pikmin carrots in the water, then they disappear. Okay, there we go. So that was just one Pikmin carrot, but I'm pretty sure it can devour multiple Pikmin at once. Tossing it onto its back may work, the same as swarming it. Just the same case for the dwarf bulborbs and bulbears. Get wrecked. Boltman. So this guy attacks the same way as the red bulborb and hairy bulborb and orange bulborb, as well as the bulbear. I think maybe the best thing to do is toss Pikmin onto its back and swarm its legs. Don't attack the front. It's a good thing that the little ones don't follow suit by devouring the Pikmin. Get wrecked. Okay, fiery blowhog. So, whenever it sees Pikmin, it shoots out fire. The best way to defeat this guy would be to swarm it with red Pikmin. Of course, you can use any other Pikmin, but once they get caught in the flames, then it makes it a problem because the Pikmin will start to burn, except for the red Pikmin. So, red Pikmin is definitely the best way to go about this. Swarm him with red Pikmin. Get wrecked. Watery blowhog. Okay, this could be a problem because it's in the water. Basically, whenever it sees Pikmin, it shoots out a jet of water. The best means of defeating this guy would be to swarm it with blue Pikmin. Yeah, for not providing me a good demonstration, get wrecked. But you guys basically get the idea of that. Okay, armor cannon beetle larva. So whenever it sees Pikmin, it shoots out a boulder, and that boulder can flatten Pikmin. Of course, that's not clearly demonstrated with the demonstration of Pikmin carrots, but well, you guys have seen that happen before. Of course, not in my LP. Maybe other YouTubers' LP. But yeah, maybe the best thing to do would be to first have it draw its attack, and then you could swarm it right away. Yeah, I think that may be the best bet. Tossing Pikmin on its back would definitely be time consuming. So yeah, that's the best I got for this guy. Get wrecked. Okay, next up, decorated cannon beetle. I'm not really sure how I'm going to properly demonstrate this because there's no metal around. Yeah, see that? The boulder's not even going directly for the... Wait, did it slightly move? Hold on, I gotta see something. Oh! Sorry, guys. Okay, let's see that again. Oh, it does move. Well, kind of. But, basically, what you can do about this guy is, the same thing as the armor cannon beetle larva. First get it to draw its attack, and then swarm it. Get wrecked. Alright, Puffy Blowhog. This guy really doesn't do much attacking, just blows stuff around. Trying to find the best possible place to go about this. Maybe the Wistful Wild isn't the best place to demonstrate it. Okay, there we go. So whenever it sees Pikmin, it just blows at them. Doesn't really pose as much of a threat. You could toss just about any Pikmin on him in order for you to defeat him. Get wrecked. Next, Withering Blowhog. He attacks the same way. Pikmin carrots right behind you. Turn around. Thank you. So he attacks the same way. Blows directly at the Pikmin. But what's different about this guy is, unlike the Puffy Blowhog, once it lets out its gust of wind from its mouth, or blows on them, I should say, it causes the Pikmin to instantly lose their maturity, and therefore they revert back to leaves. Defeating this guy by tossing Pikmin directly at him as quickly as possible would definitely be best if you want to avoid having your Pikmin lose all of their maturity. Get wrecked. Alright, next up, Gatling groink. Hate this guy so much. Dude, turn around. Turn around. Carrots for you. So this guy attacks by shooting explosive pellets at its target. What I would strongly recommend for dealing with this guy is either stunning it with purple Pikmin, or you can somehow get right behind it. Actually, no. Maybe stunning it first would be the best thing to do, and then getting right behind it, because as you can see right there, it's vulnerable to its backside. So if you could stun it first, and then toss Pikmin directly onto its back, you may be able to defeat this guy no problem without losing all of your Pikmin. Oh my god, the camera is so weird. Okay, there we go. Always walked it back. But yeah, that's pretty much the best advice I can give you guys. Stun it first, then go directly for its back and toss your Pikmin on its back because it's vulnerable there. Attacking the front is impossible for you to deliver damage to him because, as you can see, it has some kind of shielding on its face. You could also go for the legs, but it's incredibly risky. So, mainly go for the back. That's all I can give. The best piece of advice, I should say. Get wrecked. I hate you so much. Iridescent Flint Beetle. This creature really doesn't pose as much of a threat. It just yields goods. However, if you flip it over, you can get the goods from it. Best Pikmin to use against this guy, definitely the purple Pikmin, considering that the way that they target the enemies is on point. Especially when you toss them in the air. So yeah, if you want to get goods from this guy, use purple Pikmin. Sorry little guy, but get wrecked. Iridescent glint beetle, same thing. It should also be worth mentioning, by the way, guys, that these beetles do not attack Pikmin, rather they just run away. So, best way to get goods from this guy, use purple Pikmin, again. Get wrecked. Doodlebug. So every time it walks around, it farts. You could use white Pikmin in order to get goods from it, whilst avoiding your Pikmin suffering due to poison, but you can still use purple Pikmin while it's standing still in order to get the goods from it. Get wrecked. Alright, next up, female Shear grub, and there are already some carrots for us. Nice. Of course, these female Shear grubs don't pose as much of a threat against Pikmin, considering that they don't devour them at all. Best thing to do is just swarm them all together. These guys are incredibly harmless. Nonetheless though, get wrecked. Male Shear grubs, however, are different, because as you can see, they attack with their mouths, or pincers. I'm pretty sure those are pincers. Best thing you can do is swarm them with a large group of Pikmin. Tossing them directly onto their backs, it definitely poses as much of a risky problem. So yeah, swarming them, definitely best bet. Get wrecked. Shearwigs. These guys attack the same way as the Shear grub, but what's different about them is that when they take enough damage, they start to fly in the air, and the longer they stay in the air, the more they start to regenerate their health. The best thing to do would probably be to swarm it, and if it's in the air, you just toss one of your Pikmin directly at it. You can use yellow Pikmin, but they're not really all that high, so you could just use any other Pikmin altogether. Get wrecked. Cloaking Burrownit. Let's see here. So this guy attacks with its needle-like nose, and therefore reels the Pikmin in. Best way of attacking this guy is to gather the Pikmin around him, swarm him, and then attack its face. Up, up, up. Come on out. And get wrecked. Ravenous Whisker Pillar. They don't pose as much of a threat at all. In fact, they only target the berries on the local berry plants that we've seen on the planet. But if you guys wish to defeat them and therefore get some more berries from the berry plants, then you could basically just swarm them. Or you could toss them. Doesn't really matter. Get wrecked. An old Beetle. These guys only attack with waves of electricity. The best way to defeat these guys is to definitely use yellow Pikmin. Any other Pikmin caught within the electric field, like that right there, and also that, they instantly get fried. It even takes them not even close to a second for them to get fully electrocuted and therefore die. So if you want to avoid losing your Pikmin to Anole Beetles, then definitely use yellow Pikmin. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very bad time. Get wrecked. Midites. These guys don't pose as much of a threat against Pikmin, but they do scare them away. So the best means of... Wait, before you guys escape, get wrecked. So the best way of defeating these guys, if you so wish, and get nectar from them, that can happen by the way, is to use purple Pikmin, because for some reason, they are the ones that are not afraid of Midites. Get wrecked. So against Midites, use purple Pikmin if you wish to defeat them and get nectar from them. Hermit crawmad. Alright, let's see here. I might be able to drag this guy in somehow. Maybe if I keep spamming the carrots. There we go. Okay, so that's how that guy attacks. He attacks one Pikmin at a time, and then when it successfully captures a Pikmin, it drags it back into its lair to eat them. I think that the best thing to do would be to bait him into drawing his attack, and having all of your Pikmin avoid being captured by the guy, and once he fails to catch a Pikmin, then you could just swarm his rear in order for you to defeat it. as it's going back to its lair. Of course, don't be surprised if he does shake the Pikmin off, because that can happen with the all bugs. Just keep at it and you'll defeat him. Get wrecked. Swooping Stitch Bug. Oh god, I hate you so much. So this guy really doesn't attack. Rather, it just swoops down and grabs Pikmin and then replants them into the ground. For some strange reason. Given that it's way too high, I'd say that it's best for you to use yellow Pikmin against it first in order to bring it down from the air. And then you could just swarm it with all of your Pikmin in order for you to defeat it. Get wrecked. Also it fell. Poor guy. Actually no, I don't feel sorry for it because I hate bugs. Okay, Bumbly Sedge Bug. This guy really doesn't focus on Pikmin, rather so much captains, Almar, Louis, and the President. So I can't really provide a good demonstration for this, but it basically attacks the same way as the Swooping Stitch Bug, except it goes for captains. Bring it down with yellow Pikmin first, and then swarm the rest of your Pikmin on it for you to kill it. Get wrecked. Careening Dirigibug. So whenever it sees Pikmin, it summons a Bomb Rock, and it takes some time for the Bomb Rock to detonate. The best way to go about this is to bring it down with your yellow Pikmin first, and then, while it's struggling to get back into the air by means of its balloons, you swarm your Pikmin directly on top of it. And of course, if you're lucky enough, you can have it receive damage from its own blast if you just time your throws with the Pikmin onto it with such good timing. Basically what I'm trying to say, guys, is it can damage itself with a blast if it throws a Bomb Rock and you bring it down with just the right timing and it's close to the Bomb Rock. That's all I gotta say about that. Best way to go about that. But mainly the best thing to do is to just swarm it after you bring it down. Get wrecked. Antenna Beetle. Good grief. It really doesn't do any attacking against the Pikmin, it just summons these sound waves in order for them to control your Pikmin. Of course, when it's surprised by a large group of Pikmin, it hops away. The best thing to do about this guy will be to toss purple Pikmin directly at it. And then from there you can swarm it and therefore finish the job of killing it. Try not to have your Pikmin get caught up in the sound waves, by the way, otherwise you will end up losing your Pikmin to these guys. They won't die, they'll just fall to its control. Get wrecked. And also, that's for making so much noise during the past 2 segments. You guys seriously need to shut up. Okay, moving on. Lesser Spotted Jellyfloat. So, when it sees a large group of Pikmin, it sucks them up, and therefore consumes them later. Of course, I haven't really seen if the Pikmin actually get consumed by this guy because I haven't tested it. I mainly just rescue them right away if ever they get caught. Best way to defeat this guy is to first bring it down with yellow Pikmin, given that it's high up in the air, and then you can swarm your Pikmin directly on it in order for you to kill it. Of course, if you do swarm it, then it's going to take a little bit longer. Maybe the best thing to do would be to toss your Pikmin onto its head after it's brought down. Get wrecked. Greater Spotted Jellyfloat. I'm pretty sure this guy attacks the same way. Yeah, he does. Large group of Pikmin, it sucks it up. He can also do the same for captains, Almar, Louis, and the President. Oh, I did forget to mention this, by the way, guys. If a captain, Louis, Almar, or the President get captured, then you could basically wiggle the control stick in order for you to set yourself free. It's going to take some time in order for you to do this, but you'll be able to escape the creature, the Bumbly Stitch Bug and the Greater Spotted Jellyfloat. I already demonstrated that it attacks large groups of Pikmin by just sucking it up. Last note, get wrecked. Okay, Fiery Dweevil. So whenever it's surprised by a large group of Pikmin, it just walks away, but when damaged, it spouts out jets of flame. The best thing to do would be to attack it with red Pikmin. It's hard for you to do this considering that, well, it has tall legs. Tossing it onto its head would definitely be more effective. Do this with red Pikmin though. Get wrecked. I know Dweevil. It does the same thing. Best way to go about this is attack it with yellow Pikmin. Its head. Get wrecked. Caustic Dweevil does the same thing. Attack it with blue Pikmin. Get wrecked. Munge Dweevil, especially if you attack it with white Pikmin. Get wrecked. Volatile Dweevil. So when it sees a large group of Pikmin, it'll start to walk around like this. And after a few seconds, that bomb rock that it has will go off, killing any and all Pikmin that are directly near it. So, best way to defeat this guy? Run away. Just basically run away in order for you to kill it and save your Pikmin. Just run away altogether. Before we move on, get wrecked. Of course, it was already wrecked, considering that it basically killed itself with its bomb rock. Okay, Toady Boister. This one's gonna be hard. Oh, here we go. One guy right here. So it has multiple tongues, and that's how it reels the Pikmin in order to digest it. As we all know, its weakness is its gill on its tail. So, the best way to go about this is to basically get right behind it and launch any and all of your Pikmin directly on its tail in order for you to kill it. You might want to do it quickly before it shakes him off though. Get wrecked.